Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 4060 in the good old GTA 5. This one is the MSI Ventus version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Ups. GPU-Z recessable bar is also enabled, and it has 8GB of GDDR6 memory. Over on the left, we're pairing it with the i5-13600K at stock speeds and 32GB of DDR5 6000MHz in dual channel. And let's get right into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings first. I'm starting at 1080p resolution, and we're also going to test this one at 1440p, 4K, 8K, and possibly higher with the help of resolution scale. And we're using the very high settings. MSAA is turned off at the moment, but I'm also going to utilize it in just a little bit. And the only thing that's not maxed out is grass quality right here, as well as post effects. Post effects introduces motion blur if you set it to like high or higher, even though this slider over here is set to the minimum, so I prefer to keep it on normal. And grass quality is just way too intensive for basically no better visuals, so I just set it to high. These are my custom settings, which I call very high. Advanced graphics are all turned off, and let's go ahead and play the game. So I haven't made a video in GTA 5 with a fast GPU in a really long time, so you might not remember this, but this game is hard capped to 188 frames per second. It's the engine limitation. You can't really go above it, and it actually stutters quite a bit if you touch 188 frames per second for a long period of time. So we are about to see a huge stutter happen right now. Come on, game. In 3, 2, 1. Not yet? Are you serious? Come on. Like, before I started recording, I just drove around for a little bit, and I instantly got a stutter like that, okay? So yeah, now that I wanted to show it to you guys, it took a while, but this will happen every now and again if you don't lock your FPS, or if you don't increase the graphics settings or resolution to get lower FPS. So let's fix that, guys, because those 1% lows at 3 were terrible. And I'm not gonna lock the FPS, of course. You already know that if it got like 188 FPS all of the time, if you lock it to like 144, it's always gonna stay at 144. But what I'm gonna do is enable some MSAA anti-aliasing, or multi-sampling anti-aliasing, actually. I'm gonna set it to 4 times right here, and that's apparently enough to drop our FPS to the 150s, 140s. Hopefully it's not gonna hit 188 anymore, because otherwise it will still stutter. Anyways, let's start counting our FPS right now. 170s, oh boy, sometimes it can still get really high. I don't like that, come on. Also, can we all just stop right here and take a look at the graphics of GTA 5? Like, this game is 10 years old at the moment. How crazy is that? It still looks great. It looks less blurry than all of the newer titles, actually. Oh boy, so sorry about that. Right? Like, the newer games all have, like, built-in TAA that looks really, really soft and blurry. And this one, it's just really crispy, just how I like it, my friends. All of the games should be this crispy at native resolution. I mean, we're using 4 times MSAA, but even at 1080p without anti-aliasing, it was still very, very good looking. Alright, over here, things should be a little bit heavier on the CPU because we're seeing a ton of NPCs. It actually bumps up our VRAM by a little bit, I believe. At least it does on my older GPUs, like the 8800 GTX that I tested recently in this game. Come on, get out! No, sorry, I'm really sorry, but it was probably Bob's friend, so it's fine, guys, right? Okay, let's go. Let's visit check. Oh boy, we actually hit 188 right there. Damn it. Alright, no matter what you do, whether or not you use some anti-aliasing here to drop your FPS, you should always lock your frames with a 4060 at 1080p in GTA 5, guys, because otherwise it's possible that you are gonna reach that 188 FPS and make the game stutter. Hello, Jack, how's it going, my friend? Oh, such a beautiful boy every single time. It's awesome to see him. By the way, Rockstar, when is GTA 6 coming? Come on. We want to see Jack in GTA 6 with more definition, right? Anyway, over in bushy areas, guys, where is Bob? The FPS dropped by quite a bit. He's not here. He's probably looking at us from far away, waiting for the game to stop, to drop. There we go. Goodbye, Bob. To drop from 60 frames per second, but it did not work, my friends. It did not work. Which one is Bob, by the way? Probably this one. He's trying to get away even while dead. So that's it for the 1080p 4x MSAA results, guys. It looks really good like this. Okay, let's go up to 1440p. Unfortunately, I can't have the high refresh rate experience anymore. But let's set it to native resolution 60 Hz. That's because of the capture card, if you're wondering. Here we go. 2560 by 1440. No MSAA and the same exact settings. Let's do this. So in bushy areas, see this? We're actually getting higher FPS at 1440p than 1080p, all because of that anti-aliasing. It's super intensive, especially in these areas with a lot of bushes and vegetation. So yeah, you can still expect a high refresh rate experience apparently, even in worst case scenarios with the 4060 at 1440p. The 8GB of VRAM are also more than enough for this game. It's 10 years old after all. I mean, it's released in 2015 on PC and it does look better than the console versions, so you could say it's a 2015 title, but it first released on the PlayStation 3 as well as Xbox 360 10 years ago in 2013. So let's go with that. Oh no, damn it. All right, see what happens, guys. So even at 1440p, you will need to lock your FPS or use some MSAA, otherwise it still stutters. But this time I'm gonna use 2x MSAA instead of 4x, because at 1440p this looks really good with 2x. No need to use 4x and wreck your performance. Let's start counting our FPS again. Oh boy, 130 still. That's pretty good. Very smooth indeed. Of course, I am using 60 Hz at the moment, so I can't really feel all of those frames, unfortunately. But on a higher refresh rate monitor, it will feel really insane. Actually, you know, if you haven't played this game, give it a try, because it's probably better than most of the games released this year anyways, and it performs really well. So it's definitely worth trying on the 4060 if you have this card. We need to get to Jack's Hill once again and see that bastard and count our FPS over there, because that's where it's gonna drop the most, of course. Previously, without MSAA, it dropped to like 120s, 130s, which was still buttery smooth, but I believe with these settings it might actually drop into like the 90s. Alright, moving on to the bushy areas. Okay, it already dropped into the 90s, 80s once again. That's what I expected. It's probably gonna drop a little bit more than that, actually. Hello, Jack. I kind of want a hug. Jack, come on. What are you doing? Why are you running away from me? That's his answer. Someone translate. I don't know how to speak Jackish anymore. Alright, let's see if we can kill Bob this time around. He's probably around here. Okay, 82, 80, 79. So it can drop. No, he's not here again. What the heck, dude? GTA 5 is broken. Bob is never where he's supposed to be. What is happening here? Oh boy, let's go up there. Ah, there he is. There he is. And now he always brings a friend in hopes that I kill the friend and not him, but I kill them both. I don't care. Okay, I think that's enough probably, right? 124 FPS average and 77.1% lows. Pretty good, once again, to be expected from a GPU that's mid-range in 2023. Here's where things are gonna become really intensive. 4K resolution, no MSAA at this res. I don't think it's needed for us to utilize it. Definitely not. We're nowhere near 188 frames per second, but it is looking really great, guys. So sharp, man. Especially compared to newer titles. It's so sharp. So nothing to complain about in terms of the visuals. Oh my god. It's really pretty, but the FPS already dropped into the 60s and we're nowhere near Jack's Hill. So it's probably gonna drop way further over there. I think I wrecked the car already. It's not really driving as fast. Yeah, it has some weird smoke on the left as well. Oh boy, okay, it's all good, it's all good. The guys are stopping for me. Good stuff. Okay. Alright, let's go this way now. You know, oh, 1.5 stars. Can we actually enter the hotel? I've never actually tried. No, we cannot. We cannot go inside. the 1.5-star hotel, but we can check it out over here. So people are just chilling here, drinking some coffee. But there is no shop. Like, where do you buy these things, guys? Come on, I kind of want to know. Okay, so we walked around the hotel already. There's nowhere to enter it. Hi, guys, how's it going? Yeah, just now I'm just gonna rob a car over here. Your car, yes. Thank you. I am the stupid fool. Are you kidding me? You leave your car like that, and I am the stupid fool. So this is still gonna provide a really good experience at 4K. Even if it drops there into the 50s, it's not the end of the world. We're playing single player here. Maybe in multiplayer you want 60 plus all of the time, but yeah, it's not bad by any means. Yeah, 55 over there. Let's go down here. 55. So I guess mid-50s is what you can expect on the lowest in GTA 5 in worst-case scenarios. So that's it for 4K resolution. Still on very high settings, and it still provides a great experience. Now I'll need to do some trickery in the Nvidia control panel and be right back at 8K. So we're at 7680 by 4320, which is the 8K resolution, using the same very high settings and no advanced graphics. And yeah, so it ran out of VRAM at this moment in time. Look at that RAM usage shooting up to 16 gigabytes. Holy crap. Yep, it is not gonna happen. Okay, we will need to drop the settings. Good thing is, I think on high settings, this might be okay. So let's drop these to like the middle over here. Pretty much everything to high. Reflection MSAA to 2 times over here. I'm gonna keep the grass quality on high as well. This one on softer. So this is it. High settings. Pretty much everything right here. Okay, look at that. No VRAM issues anymore, and we're getting 30-ish frames per second at times. That is decent, isn't it? Well, it's decent for 8K, definitely. And at this resolution, you can't really tell any shimmering whatsoever, guys. Everything is just pin sharp, my friends. 40 frames per second right here. That's all right. It's 8K resolution. Once again, people consider the 4060 to be a 1080p gaming GPU these days. I mean, even Nvidia says it is a 1080p gaming GPU. But in reality, in the recent titles that are completely terribly optimized, it's more of like a 720p GPU, because you need to use DLSS on quality, and that renders the game at 720p and upscales it to 1080p. So it's a breath of fresh air to be playing GTA 5 on a 4060 at 8K resolution. Oh, damn it. It's kind of sad to see, like, back in 2015, when the game came out on PC, a 980 Ti was the best GPU around, along with the Titan X, and those cards could play this game at my custom settings at 4K resolution with all like 45 to 60 frames per second. So they could achieve decent experiences at 4K. But in 2023, we got stuff like the RTX 4090s and 4080s and 79 XTXs and stuff like that, which are really powerful GPUs consuming a ton of power as well. But we're still trying to achieve those 4K experiences. Even 10 years later, almost. I mean, by the time... Oh, boy, it's dropping like crazy over here into the 20s, actually. Hello, Jack. How'd you go, buddy? Is it Jacqueline? Maybe it's Jacqueline. But yeah, by this point in time, you'd think, yeah, 4090, $1,600 GPU should be capable of playing games at like 8K 60 FPS, right? And that is the case with a lot of titles, especially 2022 titles and older, with some reduced settings, you know. But I mean, for example, Spider-Man Remastered ran extremely well. Goodbye, Bob. On the 4090 at 8K. But now in 2023, the 4090 is already struggling at 4K. Like, what the heck? Just a year ago, it was getting like 150, 200 frames per second at 4K resolution, native most of the time. So you can get 30 plus FPS with 1% lows in the 20s because of the bushy areas. But if you avoid bushy areas and you just want to drive around CD 8K graphics is actually going to be a playable experience here. Of course, it goes without saying that with normal settings, it will run at 60 plus or at least at 60 average, you know. But I'm going to play at more than 8K resolutions now, so we need to drop it down as much as we can. Okay, so to play at higher resolutions than 8K, we need to use the frame scaling mode over here, which is resolution scaling. And maybe we should try out like 10K first, which is 1.25 times or 25% higher than 8K. Oh, it's looking so much worse because of the normal settings, guys. We're getting very similar FPS actually to what we saw at 8K, possibly a bit higher, but that's because we're now playing on normal settings instead of the high settings from the previous resolution. And it looks really bad, guys, like... Ay, 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 indeed, my friend. Oh, yeah, 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 god damn it, alright, okay, seeing a little bit of vegetation, already dropped it to 30, so... Yeah, it's dropping into the lower 30s, but it's not really that much of a problem, because it's not dropping from 30, so you can play at 10K if you want to flex on your friends or something. So, oh, my GPU can play games at 10K resolution, and they're like, what's 10K even? Right? Oh boy, yeah, look at this. Dropping slightly from 30 FPS. There's Bob. There's Bob. Goodbye, Bob. Haha, there we go. Perfect. See, the police don't even come after me after I kill Bob. They don't care at all. Let's do 12K next. Here we go. It's 1.5 times 8K. It's still hanging in there, my friends. Look at that. VRAM is maxed out at this point because the RAM utilization went up by a little bit, but it's not really stuttering like crazy like we saw before. It was much more intensive to play this game at 8K with very high textures indeed. Oh, yeah. But look at that, we're at 30 frames per second most of the time, playing at 12K resolution. Obviously, in the grassy areas, it would get wrecked. But this is still very impressive. Oh boy! It drops like crazy. Yeah. I wouldn't consider these FPS to be playable now, but still impressive that it's kind of stable, always above like 25. Let's bump it up to the 16K res. Oh, it works. It's applying, kind of. Come on. Please. No. You can do it. There's way too much 48 gigabytes of VRAM that we have. Look at the RAM utilization, 18 gigs, and it just crashed, I believe. Oh no, it's working. No, oh no, it's back to 1.5 times. Okay. So, this is just for fun, obviously, and for science, basically. If you're wondering, a 4090 with 24 gigabytes of VRAM was playing this game at 16K normal settings, above 30 frames per second. So 16K is essentially 16 4K monitors and 64 1080p monitors. And the 4090 could actually handle it. That's crazy, dude. That's absolutely insane. Alright, with that said, my friends, that's enough of single player. I'm gonna set it back to 1080p. Again, the adequate resolution for this GPU. 4 times MSAA, and the same very high settings that we started with. I'll need to restart, of course. And now I play a little bit of online, just to show you that it gets basically the same FPS. And here we have it. GPU utilization is fluctuating a tiny bit, as you can see, with the exact same settings that we tested in single player, with 4 times MSAA, very high over here. Advanced graphics are all turned off. Frame scaling is off already, okay? And we're not getting exactly the same FPS, but we could extract a little bit more frames if we didn't have a CPU bottleneck in multiplayer. It's not a big CPU bottleneck by any means still, but this just goes to show you that the online version of the game is not GPU intensive. A lot of people think that it is GPU intensive and your GPU is gonna get wrecked once you play online. That's not the case whatsoever, okay? Your CPU is gonna get wrecked and it's gonna bottleneck your GPU, but the GPU performance is exactly the same in online as it is in single player. You're rendering exactly the same things. Alright, I'm just gonna go to Jack's Hill, see the FPS dropping to the exact same values as we saw before. Unfortunately, there is no jack in online. There's also another reason why I don't play online in this game. Okay. But as you can see, it's getting the same 90s that we saw previously, and it shouldn't really drop from 90 frames per second. Over here, it is fully GPU bound, because the grass is very, very intensive, as we saw so far. Shut up, Ron! Don't care about you! So that's been it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Catch you in the next one very soon. And as always, love you all. Bye-bye.